Aviwe, a very good morning to you. Now, you heard what Ati had to say. It seems that there are more workers reporting for duty this morning there at offices in Cape Town, or where she is at the moment. What are you seeing in Pretoria?
Well, Iveka, it certainly does seem that things are going back to normalcy here in Pretoria. There are no picketers outside their headquarters here, and workers are reporting for duty. But we don't want to preempt the situation as yet, as we expect the unions to get back at 9 o'clock with word from the members whether they expect the offer that was tabled to them over the weekend. Remember clearly on Friday, 22 branches out of their 53 Sars branches were shut down. They were closed. It was the end of the financial year where taxpayers had to essentially pay tax. Of course, some of them couldn't make the deadline because of the ongoing strike. But just to get more clarity on what's happening, I'm joined by Takalani Musegwa, executive from SARS, just to maybe give us an indication. Thank you for joining us at ENCA. But could you give us the indication of what was tabled over the weekend? What was the new offer to the unions?
Well, we gave a joint statement with organised labour last night to say that the wage settlement is imminent. After the strike that started on Thursday last week, the parties resumed their discussions on Friday evening and continued yesterday afternoon into the evening. Both parties acknowledged in the statement that significant progress has been made, and we believe that there's a possibility of reaching an agreement and settling the dispute. Organised labour has taken the new proposal to their members, and they will be reverting back to SARS at 9 a.m. this morning.
But can you give us an indication of that new proposal? Can you give us maybe the number that's been on offer?
Unfortunately, I'm not able to do that, except to say that both parties were able to move from their previous positions.
Okay, and then we understand that it was the end of the financial year, and a lot of people had to pay their taxes but failed to do so because of the closure of the branches. Any word from SARS as a way forward? Are they still required to pay their taxes later on maybe?
Yes, taxpayers are still expected to pay their taxes. The closure of our branches last week did not interrupt the payment of taxes at all. Payments are done at banks. They are done through our e-filing, and they are done through EFT. So there was no need for somebody to walk into our branch to be able to make a payment. So we don't expect that taxpayers will say they couldn't pay because our branches were closed.
Now, just on what we're seeing here, we're seeing that employees are walking in, reporting for duty. Could this signal the end of the strike? Aren't they supposed to wait for that 9 o'clock to get a word from the unions?
Well, on Friday, when the employees met here at the gate, during lunchtime, their leaders announced to them that they must report for duty this morning, pending the discussion that we're going to take place over the weekend. So we're expecting employees to be back at work and all our offices to open.
That was Takalani Musegwa, one of the executives at SARS, just saying that a lot of workers have reported back to work, and that in fact they got a word from the unions to report to work. We'll be hearing that announcement later on the day, finding out whether it is in fact the end of the national shutdown.
Well, I wonder if them returning to work actually means that.
Yeah, interesting is telling a viewer there that both parties have moved from their original position. Yeah. That could mean that SARS might have upped its offer, and the unions have gone down from 11%.
So they've met in the middle somewhere.